It suggests a powerful personality, strong drive, and a strong ability to build wealth. You will notice this in person like Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos. We can use our fingers, men use 4 and women use 3.5, and put it on our forehead. If our forehead is above that, it means you've got a higher forehead. Hello everyone, I'm Bruce.
I'm Zoe.
Today we're going to talk about face reading. Zoe, have you noticed something weird? Why do all the successful people look alike?
They all had the same mom, or maybe they are
what?
cloned laser people like Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So if you guys are interested in clone lizard people, we can make another episode for that one. They don't have the same mom, right? No, so not really. A lot of time it's your brain help you to make that judgment. The moment you see a face, you've already made a decision. Is this person smart? Can I trust them? Are they successful? And this way of judging people was actually studied and summarized in China about 2000 years ago. It's called face reading.
What is face reading?
Face reading in one sentence, is how you judge people's character and even their future based on how they look. So when we look at someone's face, our brain instinctively focuses on 3 key areas: the forehead, the eyes, and the nose. Take a look at these 2 people. Who do you think is smarter?
I would say the left one because he looks more confident.
But you can see the key differences lies in their foreheads, right? So in face reading, the forehead represents intelligent vision and long-term thinking. A lot of people who are known for their foresight, like Warren Buffett or Jack Ma, tend to have fuller and more rounded foreheads. And interestingly, there's actually some science behind this, because the forehead corresponds to the frontal of the brain. That area happens to be responsible for decision making and planning. That's why when we see someone has a high forehead, we tend to see them as more intelligent, more thoughtful, and more strategic.
Okay, but how high is high?
Here's a quick way to check. We can use our fingers, men use 4 and women use 3.5, and put it on our forehead. If our forehead is above that, it means you've got a higher forehead.
High forehead.
Yes, your forehead is high.
So I'm very smart.
Yeah, you're very smart. That's right. So why is a high forehead associated with intelligence? There is a scientific explanation, and in face reading, it explains it differently. Think of the forehead like a slope. Water flows down from the top. And here, the water represents how you think. If the forehead is higher, it's like having a longer slope. The water can flow further, which means you are better at thinking things through, planning ahead, and seeing the bigger picture. Everyone knows Warren Buffett, right? So let's take him as an example. He's been known for long-term investment since he was young. While most people were constantly selling and buying, he was willing to wait. I was always selling and buying, so I lost a lot of money. Because he wasn't focused on short-term gains. He was thinking about the long term, right?
What if someone's forehead is wider?
It means he's going to be bald. It's actually seen as a sign that they can handle more complex situations. Let's think about this way. If the forehead is wider, it's like having a large surface, which means they hold more water. In another word, they are better at processing information, handling complexity, and staying clear-headed under pressure. And in face reading, a wider forehead also means you are more likely to receive help from the right people at the key moments of your life. Take Barack Obama, for example. He won the president election twice. When he was in politics, he faced a lot of challenges, but he was able to bring very different people together and get them work together. And along the way, there were always people willing to support him and help him to get ahead. People like his strategist, David Axelrod, who helped him win the presidency, or Oprah Winfrey, who helped boost his popularity, and Rahm Emanuel, who helped him navigate the political system. If you think about it, at every major turning point, there was always someone there helping him at just the right time. So a forehead doesn't signal intelligence. It also suggests careful thinking and that you will meet the right person at the important moment. Next, let's talk about nose. Nose sits right in the center of our face, so it is often the first thing people notice. In face reading, the nose is often linked to wealth, career, and the sense of yourself. What is considered a good nose? It always has straight bridge, a fuller tip, a round overall shape, and nostrils are not too visible.
So it's me.
Yes, you have a very good nose. First, a straight nose bridge. This is often seen as a signal of a strong will. People with straight, well-defined bridge are seen as decisive, principled, and more likely to stay on track. Take Abraham Lincoln for example. During the American Civil War, he faces a deeper divided nation, but he stayed committed to ending slavery. Even under immense pressure, he never backed down.
And that
So when people
government
think of
of
him,
the people,
their first impression
by
is
the
really
people,
principled,
for
strong,
the people,
and someone who
shall
doesn't
not
back
perish
down.
from the earth.
But what if the nose bridge isn't strict, like hook nose, for example? In face reading, a hook nose is usually seen as a sign of strong personality, someone who is opinionated, independent, and sometimes a bit rebellious. It can also suggest a more volatile career path, with bigger ups and downs. But of course, you can't judge it based on just one feature. You have to look at the whole nose. So let's talk about the tip of the nose. In face reading, the tip is often seen as where your wealth gathers. If a tip is fuller, it believed to me you are better at building wealth. And if it's both full and rounded, it suggests that you are not just good at making money, you are also good at keeping it and managing it well. Now, when you combine a hook nose with full round tip, it suggests a powerful personality, strong drive, and a strong ability to build wealth. You will notice this in person like Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos.
So basically, with a face like Buffett, it's almost hard not to get rich.
Yeah, exactly. That's why he made millions of dollars. Not millions, I think billions of dollars. Now let's look at a different case. Take Putin for example. He started out as a regular official in Soviet Union. After the collapse of Soviet Union in the 1990s, a lot of people lost power and it wasn't anywhere close to the center of power. But came the key figure, Yeltsin. Step by step, he moved him into more important roles and eventually chose him as his successors. And once he took power, his style became very clear, directly decisions, strong control, and not easily influenced by others. So what we'll notice is people with this kind of nose don't just succeed out of nowhere. It is not luck, it's just when opportunity shows up. Now what about hook nose with sharper, thinner tip? In face reading, this kind of nose is often seen in people who are stubborn, sharp, and very strong opinion. Take Dante Alighieri for example. He wasn't just a poet, he was also deeply involved in politics. But because of his political stance, he was exiled and never made it back to his hometown for the rest of his life. And in this situation, he went to write a Divine Comedy, a work that sharply expressed his beliefs and his judgment of the world. People like this tend to have strong opinions. They don't compromise easily and would rather stay to what they believe no matter the cost. Now let's talk about nostrils. If the nostrils are not very visible, like this, or not like this, it's traditionally seen as a sign that your money isn't on display. In other words, you are more reserved, you don't like to show off, and you're likely to lose money from impulsive spending or bad investment. But if the nostrils are more invisible, it's often interpreted the opposite way. And this is where it gets interesting. So here's a question. If someone does have a visible nostrils, can they do anything to change that?
What if someone does have visible nostril? Like, are we supposed to fix it with surgery? Or just stop spending money?
There's an old saying in Chinese philosophy: the way you look reflects how you are. Over time, who you are shapes how you appear. But in the end, what really matters is the choice you make. And the problem starts to happen. When how you look and how you think don't match, for example, someone changes their nose through surgery. Suddenly, he looks more wealthy, more in control. But the way they made decisions never change. So it tricks them into thinking they're better at handling money than they actually are. They take bigger risks, more aggressive investments, and end up losing even more. Because changing your face is easy, but changing how you think is what actually changes your life. The problem isn't your face, it's your judgment. And it's the same thing here. People often think this just means you can't hold on to money. But there's not really it. It's more like money slips away in ways you didn't see coming, such as medicine bills, family issues, even investments that seemed completely safe. Like you forget to cancel your Netflix subscriptions and it just keeps charging you. And here's the thing, the more you try to control everything, the more likely things slip out of control. Let me give you a real life example. You don't lie. Probably you guys don't know him, he's very famous in China. He became quite well known in China in recent years. He founded a retail chain called Pang Donglai. It's not the biggest company out there, but people know it for a simple reason. It does things differently. The products are high quality, the service is exceptional, and most importantly, it treats its employees extremely well. In fact, people will travel from other cities just to shop at his stores. But here's what makes it really different. He made a decision almost no business owner would make. He chose not to go public. He gave away nearly 1 billion US dollars worth of shares to his employees and kept only 5% for himself.
He gave away so much money.
Yeah, but here's the key. He didn't just give money away, he decided where it should go. Now, if you only look at this from face reading perspective, if you take a look at it in his photo, his nostrils are more visible, which means he can't hold on to money. But instead of trying to hold on it, he did the opposite. He chose to let it go. Let it go, let it go, and then changed everything. What could never slipped away turned into more reliable employees, better service, and stronger business. So the point isn't to stop money from moving, it's to make sure it goes to where it actually matters. One thing more, your face isn't fixed. The way you look actually changes over time. Your features shift little by little as you age. Some people even say like you can notice real changes every few months. So next time you look into the mirror, maybe you can take a second to check, do you actually look the same as you did a few months ago? Maybe you can take a picture of that and do some comparisons. Personally, I think the face reading is like the law of attraction. You don't have to fully believe it, but if it makes more aware of how you think and act, that alone might be useful. And if you've got a good face, no harm in believing a little. So what do you guys think of it? Is it real or just a story we tell ourselves? Let me know in the comments. If you're interested, we can go deeper in the next video. See ya guys. See ya.